Spaces. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are listening in the world. I am grateful you are here, spaces. And I am proud of you for showing up for your mind, your body, and your peace. Today you are going to breathe a little deeper, sit a little taller, spaces, and learn how to take back control from something that convinces millions of people that they are dying, when in truth they are not. We are talking about anxiety, spaces. The kind that feels catastrophic, like your chest is going to explode, like your heart is failing, like your brain is shutting down, like your breath is disappearing. Spaces, like something terrible is about to happen. And I want to tell you right now, you are not broken, you are not dying. You are not alone. Spaces. I am going to speak to you the way a caring doctor speaks to someone he wants to help, not by lecturing, not by judging, not by shaming, but by guiding. Spaces. By understanding, by compassion. You came here because anxiety has convinced you that you are unsafe. Spaces. You came here because your brain and nervous system have been on red alert. You came here because panic has taken over at some point in your life. Spaces. And maybe it is happening right now. Paces. Let's talk about what you must do first, before anything, before spiraling, before catastrophizing, before surrendering to fear. You must recognize the lie. Spaces. Anxiety is a messenger, an alarm, an overprotective guard dog that bites even when there is no intruder. It screams, "Your heart is racing, this is a heart attack!" Spaces. Your breathing is shallow, this is suffocation. You're dizzy, this is the end. But none of that is true. Spaces. Your brain is interpreting normal physiological changes as life-threatening when they're not. So today, for the next couple of hours, spaces. We're going to retrain the brain. We're going to retrain your breathing. We're going to retrain your awareness. We're going to retrain your nervous system. Spaces. And we're going to do it slowly with patience, repetition, and clarity. Let's start with something simple. If anxiety makes you feel like you're dying, paces. The very first thing you do is pause. Not panic, not Google symptoms, not grab your chest, not assume catastrophe. You pause, spaces. Because the pause tells your nervous system that you are not under physical threat. So let's breathe together. Slow inhale through the nose for 4 seconds. Spaces. Hold and exhale through the mouth for 6 seconds. That long exhale stimulates the vagus nerve, telling the heart to slow. Do it again. Inhale 4, exhale 6. Spaces. That is your first tool. Your breath. When your breath speeds up, your brain believes there's danger. When you slow your breath down, spaces, your brain recalibrates reality. But now let's go deeper. Anxiety is physical, but it comes from thoughts. Thoughts create chemicals. Chemicals create sensations. Spaces. Sensations reinforce fear. You feel a tingle, your brain invents a catastrophe. You feel chest tightness, your brain decides it's cardiac arrest. Spaces. You feel numbness in your arms, your brain screams stroke. But these are the side effects of stress hormones. Adrenaline constricts blood vessels. Spaces. Cortisol tightens muscles. Your respiratory system speeds up to prepare to run or fight. That's why anxiety mimics dying. Spaces. Because your body is acting like it's preparing to escape danger. But there is no danger. And that is where you take power back. Tell your brain, I am safe. Spaces. This is anxiety. It will pass. You might shake. You might sweat. You might feel dizzy. You might feel unreal. You might feel like the world is collapsing. Spaces. But these sensations are not fatal. They're uncomfortable, but temporary. Now I want to talk about panic attacks. Spaces. Because panic attacks convince people they're dying more than anything else. A panic attack reaches peak intensity in about 10 minutes. Spaces. But most people panic about the panic, so it lasts longer. When panic hits, you don't fight it. You don't resist it. You don't struggle against it. Spaces. That's like wrestling quicksand. You sink deeper. Instead, you allow. You say, my body is releasing adrenaline. I am safe. This will pass. Spaces. And your nervous system responds. Now let's talk about the body. When anxiety hits, the sympathetic nervous system takes control. Fight or flight. Survival mode. Spaces. Tunnel vision, shallow breathing. But your body also has the opposite system, the parasympathetic system. Rest, digest, repair, calm. Spaces. You activate that system through breathing, stretching, movement, cold water, grounding, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders, deep exhaling, spaces. These techniques are not theories. They are physiology. Let's say anxiety hits your chest. You feel pressure. Your heart is pounding. You think, paces, something's wrong. But your heart is doing what a heart does under adrenaline. It speeds up to get oxygen to muscles. That does not mean cardiac arrest. Spaces. Now let's talk about dizziness. You get lightheaded and panic. You think it's oxygen deprivation? No, it's too much oxygen. You're breathing fast. Spaces. You're blowing off cow. Your brain vessels constrict. Slow the breath. Restore Kyle. Dizziness fades. Let's talk about numbness in the hands and face. Spaces. That's carbon dioxide imbalance. That's adrenaline. That is not stroke. Your nervous system is on alert. Let's talk about stomach tightness. Spaces. Your stomach shuts digestion down during fight or flight. Blood moves to the limbs. Digestion pauses. That is a survival response, not danger. Spaces. Let's talk about depersonalization, where you feel disconnected from reality. That is your brain protecting you from overwhelm. It's a dissociative safety response. Paces. Uncomfortable, yes, but not dangerous. Now let's talk about what to do first, not second, not third first. Ground yourself. Put your feet on the floor. Spaces. Feel texture, feel temperature. Name 5 objects you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell. Spaces, 1 thing you can taste. That is cognitive override. Your mind can't panic and analyze simultaneously. It shifts you from survival brain to thinking brain. Now, paces. I want to speak to the person who has had anxiety for years. The person who hides it. The person who sits in silence. The person afraid to talk about it. Spaces. Anxiety only grows in silence. It expands when you avoid it. It amplifies when you fear it. But when you understand it, you weaken it. Some of you fear nighttime. Spaces. Some of you fear crowds. Some of you fear driving. Some of you fear leaving home. Some of you fear your own heartbeat. Some of you fear being alone. Spaces. Some of you fear passing out. Let's talk about the heartbeat fear. Your heart speeds up. You panic. You check your pulse. You Google symptoms. You catastrophize. Spaces. But your heart is a muscle. It speeds up like every muscle does under adrenaline. And guess what? It slows again. Now, if anxiety feels like death, spaces, what do you do next? You move. Movement burns adrenaline. Movement expels cortisol. Movement tells the nervous system, we are safe. We can function. Spaces. Walk around the room. Stretch your arms. Roll your shoulders. Your body needs motion to discharge anxiety. The next tool, stop predicting disaster. Spaces. Your brain loves worst case scenarios. It believes prediction creates safety. But what actually happens? You traumatize yourself with imagination. Ask yourself, spaces, what is the threat right now? Not a future threat, not a hypothetical threat, not a catastrophic assumption, a real threat. You'll find there isn't one. Spaces. Now let's talk about fear of death. This is one of anxiety's biggest weapons. What if I die right now? Think about that question. If you were truly dying, spaces, would you be asking that? People having heart attacks don't analyze fears, they lose consciousness. People having strokes don't ask Google, they lose function. Spaces, an anxious mind is functioning far too well. You are not dying, you are hyper-aware. Hyper-awareness is not fatal. It is uncomfortable, but it is harmless. Spaces. Let's talk about breathing again because that is your anchor. Breathing through the nose slows the heart. Breathing through the mouth stimulates panic. Spaces. Lower belly breathing relaxes muscles. Chest breathing triggers fear. So breathe low, slow, control. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. Spaces. Relax your tongue. Open your palms. Your body language changes hormones. Now let's talk about shame. Some of you hide anxiety because you think it's weakness. It is not weakness. It is a nervous system response. Your ancestors survived because of anxiety. It detected danger. Spaces. But the modern world triggers the danger system unnecessarily. Now you get anxiety from emails, deadlines, financial pressure, heartbreak, loss, loneliness, spaces, trauma, memories. Your nervous system hasn't evolved to separate real predators from emotional stress. So anxiety is overfiring. That is not a personal flaw. Spaces. That is a biological adaptation. Now let's talk about control. You cannot control sensations. You cannot control thoughts. But you can control your response. Paces. And your response dictates how long anxiety lasts. If you fear the sensation, it grows. If you observe the sensation, it fades. Say out loud, this is discomfort, not danger. That sentence alone changes the brain. Now let's talk about acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means allowing the wave to pass. Spaces. Anxiety is a wave. It rises, it peaks, and it crashes. No wave stays at the top. Now let's talk about your nervous system long term. Paces. If you constantly stimulate stress, no sleep, caffeine overload, no movement, social isolation, constant phone scrolling, breath holding, rumination, spaces, catastrophic thinking, you will remain anxious. You must repair your baseline. You must build resilience. That means regular movement, hydration, deep sleep, spaces, proper breathing, mental boundaries, stress outlets. You cannot fear your way out of anxiety. You must regulate your way out of it. Spaces. Now let's talk about letting go of control. Anxiety loves certainty. It wants to predict. It wants to prevent. It wants guarantees. Spaces. But uncertainty is part of living. The more you seek certainty, the more anxiety grows. What kills anxiety? Surrender, presence. Trust, spaces. You trust your body to breathe every night. You trust your heart to beat without effort. You trust your liver to detoxify. You trust your gut to digest, spaces. Your body survives millions of processes every minute without your control. Your anxiety is not running the show, biology is, spaces. Now I want to speak to the person who wakes up anxious. Morning cortisol surges are normal. Your body is preparing for function. You're not waking into danger, spaces. You are waking into alertness. Breathe, drink water, move your muscles. Let your body equalize. Now I want to speak to the person who gets anxiety at night. Space. That is not dying. That is accumulated stress with nowhere to go. Brainwaves shift. Self-reflection increases. Rumination spikes. Distract the senses. Spaces. Get out of bed. Sit upright. Slow breath. Do not lie in the dark catastrophizing. Now I want to talk about fear of fainting. Anxiety rarely causes fainting. Spaces. Blood pressure rises under panic, not drops. Fainting requires a drop. You are extraordinarily unlikely to faint during panic. Your blood pressure is too high. Spaces. That is proof of safety, not danger. Let's talk about burning sensations. That's nerve activation, not tissue damage. Let's talk about hot flashes. Spaces. That's vasodilation, not collapse. Let's talk about visual distortion. That's overstimulation, not blindness. Let's talk about adrenaline shaking. Spaces. That is energy release, not seizure. Your body is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Now let's practice something. Sit back. Place a hand on your chest. Spaces. Place another on your abdomen. Breathe only into the abdomen. Let the chest stay calm. That is anxiety retraining. If your chest is working harder than your belly, spaces, you are signaling fear. Reverse that. Now let's talk about emotional memory. Some of your anxiety isn't current, it's historical. Your nervous system remembers, spaces, a hospital visit, a breakup, a traumatic night, a stressful childhood, a toxic relationship. Your brain is protecting you from ghosts. But you are not living the past, spaces, you are reacting to stored alarm patterns. When anxiety comes, say, that was then. This is now. It separates memory from reality. Spaces. Now let's talk about the urge to seek reassurance. Some of you check your pulse 20 times a day. Some of you consult doctors constantly. Spaces. Some of you Google symptoms after every sensation. Reassurance feeds dependency. Your brain never learns safety. Instead of asking, what if something is wrong? Ask, spaces. What if this is just anxiety? Now let's talk about self-trust. If you don't trust your body, anxiety thrives. But your body has carried you through illness, spaces, heartbreak, exhaustion, stress, trauma. Your body has healed cuts, healed bones, healed infections. It will regulate anxiety too when you stop interfering, spaces. Now let's address the fear of losing control. People fear going crazy during panic, but panic does not cause psychosis. It causes hyper-awareness. Paces, you are more sane than ever. Your brain is over-processing, not under-processing. Now let's explore self-care. Anxiety cannot heal in chaos. Paces. You must create a lifestyle that supports calm. That means consistent sleep time, morning light exposure, reduced stimulants, nutrition that stabilizes blood sugar. Spaces. Breath awareness, somatic relaxation, emotional boundaries. You must treat anxiety not like an enemy, but like a nervous system in need of retraining. Spaces. Now let's go deeper into thought interruption. When anxiety hits, you must not follow the story. ASCII. What evidence proves this thought? Spaces. Has this sensation ever harmed me before? Am I predicting or experiencing? Logic reduces adrenaline. Now let's talk about spiritual calm, not religious doctrine. Spaces. Just internal trust. The universe is not plotting against you. Your body is not betraying you. You are not living on a countdown. Your body wants to live. Spaces. Your body wants homeostasis. Your body wants balance. Now let's address vulnerability. Some of you believe anxiety makes you weak. Spaces. But anxiety sufferers are some of the strongest people alive. You survive every panic wave. You function under internal threat signals. Spaces. You live life carrying nervous system weight. That is not weakness. That is resilience. Now I want you to imagine something. You are standing in a field. No noise. Spaces. No pressure, just your breath. Put your hand over your heart. Feel the beat. That beat is life. That beat is consistency. That beat is cooperation. Spaces. It has beaten millions of times. Without your help, it will beat millions more. It knows what to do. Now imagine anxiety returning later today. Your chest tightens. Spaces. Your breath quickens. But instead of panicking, you say, there is no fire. There is no threat. This is a sensation. Then you slow your breath. Spaces. Then you move your body. Then you ground your senses. Then you wait. And the wave passes. That is mastery. Now let's talk about triggers. Spaces. Some of you get triggered by crowds, small spaces, highways, airplanes, hospital silence. These are not threats. They are associations. Spaces, your brain links environment to danger memory. But memories can be rewritten, exposed gradually, breathe intentionally, retrain calmly. Paces. Now let's talk about internal language. Your words shape your biology. If you say, I can't handle this, your brain intensifies stress. Say, spaces. I can ride this way. If you say, I'm dying, your body prepares for crisis. Say, I am safe. Your nervous system listens. Now let's talk about micro habits. Spaces. Every hour, check your breath. Relax your jaw. Drop your shoulders. Loosen your stomach. Those micro releases train calm. Now let's address the long game. Spaces. You want anxiety gone overnight, but nervous system conditioning takes repetition. You didn't develop anxiety in one day. You won't dismantle it in one day. Spaces. But you will, piece by piece, wave by wave. Every time you ride out panic, your brain learns safety. Every time you breathe instead of catastrophize, spaces, you train resilience. Every time you wait instead of run, you build confidence. Now let's talk about identity. Stop calling anxiety my anxiety. That is ownership. So that is self-definition. Anxiety is an experience, not an identity. Say, I am experiencing anxiety, not I am anxious. Words matter, spaces. Now let's address overthinking. Overthinking is mental tension. You solve problems that don't exist. You imagine outcomes that don't happen. Bring yourself back. Paces, ASCII. What can I influence now? Not tomorrow. Not next week, now. That pulls the brain out of fear cycles. Now let's talk about sleep. Paces. Your brain cleans waste during sleep. If you are deprived, your anxiety doubles. Constant screens, late nights, dopamine overload, caffeine dependence. Paces. These are anxiety amplifiers. Your nervous system needs rhythm. Now let's talk about nutrition, not diets, just stabilizing fuel. Blood sugar drops mimic panic. Spaces. Dehydration mimics panic. Stimulants amplify panic. Treat your nervous system like a recovering athlete. Now let's talk about emotional release. Spaces. Some of your anxiety is suppressed anger, suppressed grief, suppressed sadness. The body screams when emotions are silenced. Tears regulate the nervous system. Spaces. Crying is not weakness, it is chemical release. Now let's talk about social fear. You're afraid people will notice anxiety. Spaces. But most people are too absorbed in themselves to observe you. And even if they did, so what? Humans are anxious by nature. You are not strange. You are not broken. Spaces. You are human. Now let's talk about pacing. Some of you rush life. You move fast. You think fast. You talk fast. Slow your pace. Your body will follow. Paces. Now I want you to do something symbolic. Shake your hands lightly. Let the tension move out. Close your eyes. Exhale long. Say, I do not fear sensations. Spaces. I allow the wave. I trust my body. That is the beginning of liberation. When anxiety feels like you're dying, you are living through adrenaline. Paces. You are experiencing a temporary surge. You are writing biology, and it will pass. You will not die from panic. You will not collapse from breathing fast. Spaces. You will not lose sanity from fear. You will live. You will regulate. You will adapt. You will thrive. Your nervous system is learning. Your brain is rewiring. Spaces. Your courage is expanding. And every breath you take, every wave you ride is victory.